Oh, I'm actually scared. Everyone in chat's saying that this is a joke. This is terrible. We heard you wanted to buff primary, so we ignored that shit too. Uh-oh. Okay. This week at Bungie, you guys donated 7 billion Fractaline. Whether you donated or invested, this has been a community-wide effort from the get-go. Your combined efforts are paving a way to success, yada yada yada. Season of Redacted is on its way, yeet. Taking a pass. This week, we're putting a magnifying glass on weapons, while swords were given a bit of an overhaul in functionality. And damage values, ranges, and even reload canceling are on the table. Is this a Crucible-centric update or a PvE, or will PvE get its chance this season as well? That's a question that's been asked by a lot of people. While the following changes will be coming out at the beginning of Season of Redacted, some are in preparation for a new PvE challenge coming later on in the season. Hey, that's kind of cool. A new Nightfall difficulty, officially dubbed Grandmaster, will test even the most proficient Guardians, and we'll be having more details about this new ordeal in the coming weeks. Awesome. New Nightfall. Good. Dev team. For the Season of Redacted, we've adjusted quite a few weapon archetypes alongside the change of the swords. They were announced weeks ago. These aren't all the changes, covering some important conversation pieces. Izanagi's Burden, so we all knew this was good. After the changes to Rally Barricade and Lunafaction boots, these are some, this is a good sniper, right? This is the top tier sniper. We've seen an uptick in use, and Izanagi's solidified itself with the majority of endgame builds due to its excellent burst damage, sustained damage, ammo economy due to special ammo, and safety due to being a sniper. The Outlaw trait was swapped out for No Distractions to be more in line with the fantasy of the weapon and to ensure that the trait of the weapon would still work with Honed Edge. The animation speed of Honed Edge is no longer affected by reload stat, and Outlaw has been replaced with No Distractions. They took out Outlaw, and they gave you a shitty perk that almost does nothing. Awesome. That sucks. But it'll still be good. It'll still be really good, because a lot of times you're not even using the Outlaw because you're sniping bosses that take a fuckload of damage, right? So, yeah. We gave sniper rifles an increase in PvE damage back in Shadowkeep, and we're removing that change. We're removing that change for a few reasons. Sniper rifles have a lot of utility and safety due to their range, and increased damage was giving them too much of a leg up to their close range counterparts. That makes sense. Snipers and or shotguns and stuff, they saw a lot of they weren't getting used a lot. This only widens as the difficulty for any given encounter goes up, and the direct changes to adaptive and fast firing snipers were to make the difference in this. Okay, so major damage being dropped by 20%. Okay, but that's what it was before Shadowkeep. So minus 20 on major enemies. But adaptive snipers, precision multiplier, is also been reduced by like 30%. And the fast firing snipers, base impact has been reduced from 100 to 90. Okay. Grenade launchers. Through a combination of archetype adjustments and new perks being introduced, grenade launchers have been quite powerful ever since Season of the Drifter. We're changing the aggressive frame archetype to rapid fire to be more in line with other weapons' established conventions and slightly reduce their effectiveness on powerful enemies. Aggressive frames are now rapid fire frames, and rapid fire frame grenade launchers have had their damage reduced to account for their fire rate by 0.8. They lost 20% damage, but they have more ammo. Previously, aggressive frame grenade launchers fired faster than adaptive, but had the same damage. Okay. Damage to major enemies and above by power weapon grenade launcher is reduced by 10%. So that's actually a big nerf. The base damage is getting nerfed, but then another 10% nerf to majors. Okay, so hopefully you guys started farming for like a firing line in the sand, maybe? I don't know. Lord of Wolves. The ease of use granted by changes to Release of Wolves made it very difficult to approach and made the margin of error extremely large. Yes. We pushed the two states apart via accuracy to ensure that the default state is the norm rather than the exception. With this change, Release the Wolves should be used at extremely close ranges against large targets instead of just being a better version of the default behavior. Reduces the weapon's accuracy while active. It better go like this, boys! Last Word. When reintroduced in Season of the Forge, the Last Word became quite dominant due to its extremely forgiving time to kill. We're adjusting the way the weapon works to focus it back as a hip-fire-based weapon, while also improving that side of the experience for both controller and mouse and keyboard players. We also made it a little less forgiving so that you need to have concentration on your aim while wielding the weapon. Fanfire adjusts the precision scaler while hip firing. Fanfire impacts values have been adjusted. Precision, hip fire, precision hit, and ADS multipliers here. Okay. So it does... Oh. Wait, what? Oh, ADS damage is only 52? Wait, what the fuck? They're making the headshot damage down to 52? So they're making it a 4-shot kill unless you're hip firing, essentially. So you're going to precision, or you're going to hip fire all the time with that if you're going to use it. But they have neutered, well, I guess it's still a 0.8 time to kill. Headshot versus body shot. So you can ADS if you want. But that's interesting. So you're most likely going to hip fire and just aim for the body, and you're probably going to do your best there. But non-precision hip fire is 50 damage still, but ADS is 38. Boys, they nerfed the shit out of it. Well, I don't know if they fully nerfed the shit out of it, but now you don't have a 0.8 time to kill body shotting people. Reduce stability for mouse and keyboard input. Reduce the effective range. To improve the experience, adjusted the way target acquisition is handled while hip firing. So most likely, you just hip fire it. If you guys remember back when they did this before, hip firing it was fine. It was still really good. So you might have to just get used to that. Shotguns. One issue you've been waiting to fix was adjusting shotguns again. Or sorry. Something we wanted to fix before adjusting shotguns was aim assist. Aim assist on weapons that don't care much about precision damage. As an example, for shotguns at certain distances, the aim assist would prioritize the head, causing the entire spread to deviate from center mass and make the player miss out on a kill. With that issue out of the way, we made more adjustments to the shotguns to give other weapons a little more time to react. Target acquisition for non-slugs has been adjusted to no longer account for precision locations. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a buff? Previously, target acquisition would cause players' spread to deviate from the intended aim, causing them to miss. So that's a buff. The cone angle is now adjusted, though, on a per sub archetype basis and is no longer adjusted by the range stat. I don't know what that means exactly. Aiming down sights no longer adjusts effective range for this archetype of weapon. So does this mean you would hip fire your shotgun as well? I don't know fully what this means. This is a buff. This is a... We need a Fallout plays. We don't know what this is. Maybe you would hip fire the shotguns now? Maybe? If this is the case, full choke, like if you're aiming down sights with full choke, you probably wouldn't benefit from that as much. So you'd probably want like rifled barrel maybe? Huh. Fusion rifles, similar to the issue noted with shotguns, fusions suffered from the same target acquisition related oddities that we've since fixed. So target acquisition will no longer count for precision locations, meaning they're going to be more consistent. It would actually make the volley deviate. But now the damage falloff for the weapon archetype can now floor at 0.5, was at 0.75. So now the damage floor is much further. Effective range and the impact of the optic stat for this weapon archetype has been reduced across the board, which means a max range bad boy is way too fucking... You can't use that. So the Aerontil, the scope was a really big factor. The zoom was a really big factor, and that's why it was so good. So this is going to nerf that directly. This might open the door to some other high damage archetypes, or not archetypes, but fusions. Backup plan now adjusts impact to match the rapid fire sub art. Oh my god! Backup plan reduces your damage. So if you want to pull out a quick one, you're going to nerf your damage. So backup plan Aerentils are going to be trash. Charge time is now set to match the rapid fire's sub archetype, 0.85 while active. Yeah, that's GG. Auto rifles. Some small tweaks have been made to give auto rifles a small boost in efficiency. High impact frames, the damage went from 22 and 35 to 22 and what? Oh, it went from 2233 to 2235. So each one is getting kind of 2 more crit damage. Adaptive frame, though, is going from 13 to 15. And rapid fire is going from 12 to 13, 18 to 20. Okay, so you're getting 1 or 2 damage on both bodies and crits. That's pretty good. Nothing about hand cannons. Nothing about hand cannons. Nothing about flinch. Nothing about aim assist. Nothing about inner accuracy. Okay. Nothing about pulses. Nothing about scouts. Obviously, there's more changes that they didn't mention. Okay. Okay. I mean, auto rifle buff, awesome. Nerf to the Erentil specifically, like it got double hit. So the range and the optic stat, that's why it's so good. Is the optic stat, that's a double nerf, and then backup plan, it was busted on high impact stuff. So that perk is actually going to be pretty shitty now. It's still going to be a good fusion rifle, but you might be able to get another high impact one that's pretty good. Shotguns, this is an interesting one. You might start shotgunning hip fire because it doesn't appear that aiming down sights is going to do as much for you, so you might want to do that. I also just deleted a bunch of Wizened Rebuke fusion rifles now that I think about it, and they probably would be better than my Erentil, but oh well. Last word is going to be a hip fire weapon for the most part only. I don't know why you would ADS with this thing. For the most part, you're neutering yourself if you do that. Yeah, you're most likely going to hip fire with last word, and that happened before in Destiny, and it was pretty good. But they're nerfing the stability on mouse and keyboard specifically. It says, and they're reducing the effective range. So I don't know about this one. I truly don't know. Lord of Wolves. A release the wolves is now significantly reduced the target's accuracy. Great, but it better be like it better like really mess up the cone. The grenade launcher nerf, interesting. You better start finding some other heavy weapons that might do better DPS. Sniper rifle changes. Legendary snipers are kind of getting hit hard here. I don't know, were they that dominant? Were they that good? That's kind of sketchy to me. But okay. Izanagi's burden is getting nerfed, but it's still gonna be good. You're not gonna have outlaw, but use it for boss DPS. Talk to your chat, bro. I'm reading the fucking patch notes and talking about it. Settle down. Like, what are you talking about? Do you want me to just chit chat and just have this screen open for no reason? I'm reading this. Like, what are you talking about, dude? No, I literally have been streaming this whole time. So what happened to 600 and 720 round autos? I don't know. It doesn't say that. I think you want me to talk to you is the issue. I think that's the issue. You want me to answer your question, and I don't have any idea. I don't know about this. These patch notes are suspect. They're not great. There's nothing in here that I'm like super pumped about other than the Erentil. I mean, I'm pumped about last word, I suppose, too, because I don't like getting killed by it. I knew Izanagi would get nerfed. It was too good. It was the best. It was the best. How many videos did I make say, I'd rather just have Izanagi? I'd rather just have Izanagi. But there's going to be 500 posts on Twitter. How many? I'm going to do this. Let's just open up Twitter really quickly. I'm going to see how many people are complaining about it. Rapid fire. 1, 2. No. Oh, there's a positive one. Who knows? 3. Disappointed to see no mentions of improvements. Yep. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, it's going to be toxic in here, boys. That's a pretty good one. Loaded wolves and Erentil users right now. That's a good one. I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, I don't know. Real good stuff in here. Vid with my thoughts later in the week. I don't know. Some people are positive. Not like